Hello and welcome to this video for publisher exercise number 21. So last time we were working with line spacing and of course alignment. We're going to be working more with alignment today and specifically with the tab stop. So you know that when you indent something, it's often you just push tab and it moves over half an inch. And it looks like that. Well, Publisher gives you a lot more options in what you can do when in reference to tabs. And so we're going to be working with those today. We're going to be talking about having leaders with tabs as well, which is the idea of a character that happens over and over and over again to connect your two things, and then of course hanging indent as well. So rather than show you that stuff at the beginning, I'm just going to go ahead and show you as we go through our exercise. So you do need to open up this file, pub21, and first thing we're going to do is let's save it as a new file or as a different name. So file, save as, oh not print, save as. And of course you're choosing browse, going to the folder you need to save it in. So let me go to, not downloads, documents. Alright, we're changing it from pub21, if I can get it to go right, pub21 to 21 talk underscore your initials. So 21 talk, T-O-C underscore, nope, that's the wrong one. I'm looking at the wrong page here. Sorry, 21 info underscore your initials. I'm getting ahead of myself here. 21 info underscore your initials. Alright, so we're going to be just changing here the tabs and things like that. It says in the telephone extension section here, we're going to select all the paragraphs containing extensions. So that means the phone numbers here. So that's what these are. And we're going to use the tabs dialog box to insert a right aligned tab stop with a bullet leader at the 4.5 inch mark. So first thing we got to do is we need to select all the paragraphs with it. Now remember in Publisher, each time you would push enter, that new line is considered a paragraph. So all these are considered paragraphs. So I'm going to select these lines right here. So you can see those are selected. And then what we're going to do, there's a few ways you can get to that tab dialog box. We're just going to go to the paragraph group and click this dialog box launcher right here. Because when you do that, you see indents and spacing, and then we also have tabs come up. Now it says we're going to use the dialog box here to insert a right aligned tab stop. So here's our alignment. It said right aligned tab stop, so that means we're going to click right. And then what we're going to end up doing here, it says with a bullet leader, so you can see here down here where leaders are, it's that idea of a repeating character to help you connect what belongs to what thing. So, and it says a bullet leader, so right here we've done right alignment, we got bullet leader, and then at the 4.5 inch mark. So I'm going to click up here in the tab stop position, put down 4.5 quotation marks. So 4.5 quotation marks to represent inches, and we're going to click OK. When we do this, you're going to see up here we now have that tab stop right here. So there's a few ways you can do it. You always, of course, you have right up here the different tabs that you can choose, and if I click on it each time it'll switch it to a different one, so you have your different options there, but otherwise we're using the dialog box launcher because each one's different, each one serves a purpose. And then what I need to do for this, it says click between the name and the extension and press tab on each of the lines. So right here, front desk information, right before that asterisk that shows the extension, I'm going to click and push tab, and I'm going to do the same thing for this one. And this one, I click, push the tab button, click, push the tab button, click in front of it, push the tab button, click in front of the number, push tab, and then same thing for this one. And now you can see, with it zoomed out a little bit here, it has those dots, those bullets, leading all the way to the number to show you where it is. So that's what it's talking about with using a tab stop and specifically a bullet leader. So now what we need to do after that is it says select all the phone extensions and drag the right aligned tab marker on the ruler to the 4.75 inch mark. So it says to select it. Let's do that. And here's the thing, you can sometimes you set it up here and then you look at it and you go, it doesn't exactly do what I want to. And so we have extra spacing over here, so we're going to move it so it's a little bit closer. So the 4.75 one, we're currently at 4.5, so let's just click and drag this over here to 4.75, and you can see it ends up here on this line, and it just looks a little bit neater overall. Now, what we need to do after this is it says indent the paragraphs under checkout and restaurant as reservation headings by 0.5 inches using the increase indent button on the toolbar. So let's first click over there. We have first checkout, so let's click in front of that. And it says to increase the indent. Now, it talked about using the buttons for it. Now, up in our paragraph group, we of course have here our, if I can get the thing to come up, yeah, decrease indent. And then we have our increase indent button right here. So we're going to click on increase indent, and it moves it over by 0.5. You can see that now down below. And we have to do that for checkout and also for restaurant reservations. So I'm going to click here in front of we and increase the indent as well. So pretty simple to do. Then you're going to use, it says here, using the paragraph dialog box, it says set the left and right indents of 0.5 to 0.5 inches each for the first paragraph under personal items. So first paragraph would be this one right here. So let's select it. And it says we're going to switch both sides using the tab dialog box. Indentation, you're going to go down here. As opposed to doing the tabs, we're going to go down to indents. We're dealing with that. And of course for left, we're going to switch it to 0.5. And right, we're going to switch it to 0.5. And there we go. You can see our preview. We click OK. And voila, it puts it in there just like that. Now I got one more thing here we need to adjust before we save this file and we move on to the next part of the exercise. We need to apply a 0.5 left indent to the list of personal items by selecting the text and then dragging the left indent marker. So we need to select all this text here. So I click and drag all the text here, and then we're just going to move the indent marker. Now because it's each one of these is considered a first line of a paragraph, we can easily move all of them over by just grabbing the top. This is the indent for the top line here. If I wanted to move, if it was multiple lines in each paragraph, I would have to click and drag this one as well and move it over here. So, because you have your indent and then you also have your hanging indent. The indent, of course, is on, the hanging indent is basically the indent for the first line, like I said, and then of course you have your normal indent over here. Alright, so we've done that. Let's save it again before we choose to print it. So I click save, of course I'm choosing print, Microsoft Print to PDF like usual, and then of course you're using the same name that we already put in. So 21 info underscore your initials, and then I'm going to save it. Once I've done that, you can save your work and exit out of Publisher. So I'm going to choose that to close this, and then we're going to open up our next file here, which is opub 21. opub 21. And this is the one that earlier I was trying to save the name for it, and I messed up. So File, Save As, and of course we're going to choose the correct folder. So for me, it's the CA demonstration folder. You're going to save it to your flash drive or whatever the case is. And switching it to 21 TOC underscore your initials. 21 TOC underscore your initials. Now what we're going to do is we're dealing with a table of contents. Now we learned, I think, a while back in Microsoft Word how to make one, and so it might be easier for you to do it that. But it's a good way to practice, at least for us, with our tabs and indents. So what we're going to do here with the table of contents, it says use tab stops to create a 3-column listing of the items at the top. You choose which tab stop type is most appropriate for each column of information. And then what we're going to end up doing is we're going to use tab stop with leader characters to format the table of contents beneath the listings. Okay, so you're going to make it readable, easy to understand by assigning different formatting and indentation for each of the outline levels. Okay, so we can see here we got stuff in bold, we've got stuff that's not in bold as well, dividing it up, and so that's pretty much what's going to help us in figuring out how to divide this all up. So what I'm going to do here is let's select all the text that's in bold. So I'm going to do that. Oh, hang on a second here. Now what you can do is if you select text like this, you can hold down Control and now select, oh, hang on a second. Nope, that's not what I want. Undo. It looks like we're going to have to just select it this way. So select the stuff that's in bold here, And then what we can do is we're going to just indent this by half. So I've done that, and I can click here in front of it, tab, 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 like this. So you can see I made a tab stop up here, and I'm going to do the same thing for this one. So I'm going to select South Division, click up here, push tab, and then I'm going to go and select East Division, click up here, push tab. So you can see I'm setting 1/2 inch indent for this one. All the bold stuff. And then let's do that for the conclusion as well. Now we could just push the increase indent button, but the thing behind that is we want to actually have tab stops. That's what it's talking about with it. So that's why we're doing this. Now what we're going to do is we need to get what we need to do here is we also need to move this further over than what the bold stuff is. So as opposed to setting just a 1/2 inch indent, we're also going to put, we're going to do it a full inch for these ones. So select the text, full inch tab. I'm going to do that actually too for this next one. Select the normal text, not in bold, full inch tab. Select the text, full inch tab. And then we're going to do the same thing again, full inch tab. And then I'm going to go through and then click in front of it, push tab. So you can see I'm doing that with this. So we're setting up that table of contents. So you can see it looks like this. Now we're going to end up changing here the tab stop over for the right side with it, because you can kind of see the numbers are all clumped together like this. Do you see that? So we want to make it look a little bit nicer. So we're going to use our tab leader to do that, and also with this one, because you can kind of see we want the bold ones to be lined up in the same spot, and then also we want these ones to be lined up as well. So we're going to use tab leaders for that. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to select our bold text. Now you can see here this one doesn't have a page number, so North Division, it just starts on page 6, but you can see these other ones will. So when we select this one, we're going to do that. We're going to put a tab, we're going to click the paragraph dialog box launcher up here. We're going to go to tabs, and we're going to end up here making a new tab stop. So I'm going to choose right, and then I'm going to choose a leader. So let's go with let's actually go with dash instead, and then I'm going to end up choosing a position for it. So I'm going to say here probably for ours, let's go with the 2.25. So 2.25 inch mark, and of course it's right alignment in this. So what I can do is I'm going to click OK, and you can see it's set it for that. And you're going to do it here for South Division as well. So same thing, you go up here, paragraph dialog box, launcher, tabs, and then you're going to do the same thing. So we're going to choose right, we're going to choose dash, and then we're going to choose 2.25. So this doesn't have to take too long. You're just kind of repeating the same thing here with it. I'm going to click OK, and it's done it for South Division, as you can see. And let's do it here for the East Division again. So I'm going to push the dialog box launcher, tabs, right alignment, dash, and then of course 2.25. And OK. And again, we're doing it. So I'll say it one more time. Last time I'm not going to say it here. So tabs, I push the dialog box launcher. Again, if you got to pause this, definitely do it. Choosing alignment is right. Leader is dash. Tab stop position 2.25. I push enter, and it looks like this. And one more time for our conclusion before we move on to the other ones. Now, if I were choosing to type this up, what I would want to do, as opposed to splitting up the text, I would set up my tab stops as I typed in, like the first, the bold, and then the other ones as well. Now, we do need to change our normal text as well. This looks very neat and nice, but let's change how these look. So I'm going to select the North Division group here of text, so you can see like this. Let's actually make sure. I'm going to select it starting from 11, going across this way so you can see it selects it. We're going to choose this the dialog box launcher, push tabs. This one, as opposed to 2.25, we're going to go to 2.75. So same thing. We choose right alignment. We're going to choose instead dots, and then we're going to switch it tab position to 2.75. So right dot 2.75. Click OK, and you can see it looks like this. So let's do that again. We're selecting South Division. You can see how this is how my text looks when I select it. Click Paragraph Dialog Box Launcher. Clicking tabs. We're selecting right. We're selecting dot for, wait, we're selecting bullets, excuse me, bullets for our leader, and then of course 2.75 for a tab stop position, and push enter. So same thing, East Division, I'm selecting it like this. I'm clicking the Paragraph Dialog Box Launcher, tabs, and then also I am going and selecting right alignment, selecting bullet, and then of course I'm selecting 2.75 and enter. One more time here, folks. We're almost there. So we select it, Paragraph Dialog Box Launcher, tabs, and then of course we're choosing right, bullet, 2.75. Don't be afraid to pause. Don't be afraid to go back a few seconds, watch it again, make sure you understand. So 2.75. I got rid of my quotation marks by accident, and then click OK. So you can see this looks much nicer now. It's divided up a little bit better. It's very clear how these are divided and how they relate to each other. Once you've done that, let's make sure to save it again, and then of course you're choosing, no, that's not what I want. Let's try that again. File, print, and of course Microsoft Print to PDF. You're using the same name, so 21 TOC underscore your initials, and it looks just like that. So very easy way to do it here. Let me show you the files that you need to submit for this exercise before you get going here with it. So that's not the folder I need. The files you're going to submit are, you have of course 21 info, publisher, and PDF, and then you have 21 TOC, publisher, and PDF as well. So 4 files you need to submit for publisher, exercise number 21.